Hello crafters, this is Suzanne from A Creative Muse, and it's late Saturday for my Saturday morning makes and Snowmen of January. Just couldn't get my day going to film. So you'll either see this late Saturday night, probably Sunday morning, the latest Monday. It's going to be a two-part video because I have a lot of Saturday morning makes and Snowmen of January, and January is almost over, so I'm now playing catch-up Snowmen of January. Yeah. But let's talk about gingerbread first. Let's talk about the cuteness. Let's get started. All right, crafters, so I had shown you that I had recently hauled this beautiful Ginger Boy and Girl die set, 9-piece die set from My Creative Time. This is from their newest release. I still believe it's in stock. Super cute. Finally played with it. Let me give you a measurement on the gingerbread. 2 inches tall by 1 5/8 of an inch wide. This is the base. This right here is the frosting. All right. I played around with it a bunch of different ways and came up with a whole lot of gingies. Alrighty, let's take a closer look. But first, before I get into it, if you do decide to get this set, which has a great price point, super cute, it's a different style of gingerbread. As you can see, this is a more square head. This is not an open piece, so you can't use a peachy keen stamp here, but you can use it here, and I did. So I'll show you how I did it. These pieces, with this set, if you do decide to get it, it suits you to find some sort of envelope to seal it in, or do like how I did here. I have it in an envelope like this and also magnetized because you don't want to lose this, or that. Yeah, for your sanity. So find a way, either you're going to store everything the way you normally store it and then put these in a little Ziploc bag so you always have them so you don't lose them. But these are pieces that really make the set come to life, all right? So always keep that in mind with this particular set. Let me show you all my gingies. And they are adorable. All right, so I played with them. These are all my peachy keen gingerbread. This is the die itself. All right, and we're gonna talk about the difference. Because when you do cut it, you do get a lot of options with it. And each one of these I did back with 110-pound cardstock. Why? If you watched my video, which I will put a link at the end and also above, Gingerbread University, I used the Basil Almond Cream 65-pound, but it's a soft paper, really soft cardstock. 65-pound almond cream cardstock along with tea dye ink, distress ink, not oxide, distress ink. Oxide is going to give you a more powdery finish. Unless you want that. You can try it, but I just went with distress ink. Tea dye and vintage photo. That's the options that I used here. For one viewer in particular, Jill, hey, she wanted to know how to get a darker gingerbread. This one I did with the same almond cream and only vintage photo in it. I didn't go with the tea dye. The rest of them, I did mostly tea dye and then kind of push a little bit of the vintage photo in it. All right. So how did I do this? When you cut this die, so cute. So when you cut the base die, this is the base, right? You're going to get it looking like this. This is on that Michael's 110-pound craft cardstock. So this will be thicker. This is with the almond cream. These are the points where you would put the eyes, nose, and cheeks for both pieces. You see it? So this is what I call the base. The inside piece for the frosting, you would take this die, run it through your die cut machine, and this is what you get. All right? When you do get this piece, funny, as thin as this frosting is you can see it right here. Let me show you on the die itself. Look how thin that is. On a normal die, you would have that cardstock crinkling and bending, and I cut this with glitter, and glitter cardstock is thicker. Normally when it's thicker, it would bend and crinkle. I am telling you, My Creative Time. I don't know which company she uses to produce her dies, but it's a good company because this thing cut well. This is on Basil, 65-pound, but it's a little thicker. See? It has more thickness than the almond cream actually. So maybe it's like a 75-pound paper. But when I cut it, look how clean that came out. Super clean, even with glitter. Now, I did not use wax paper, release paper, because sometimes with this thinness, you would have to use that type of thing to protect it, to get the dye out. The dye does come out of this easily, too. Seriously. And what you're left with, you cut the base. When you cut this, you're left with this and this. This now is where I stamped Peachy Keen. See the little curly Q? What happens is, when you do it the standard way, you get the base is the gingerbread. This little thin layering piece is the frosting. When I stamp it with the Peachy Keen, I'm using the background as frosting, and the top, I could actually put it back in if I wanted. See how it fits right back in? I could do that too. I didn't even realize I could just put it right back in. Look at that. And I also cut it. All the pieces I cut. This one doesn't have an adhesive sheet, but I did use, yes, I'll show you for the millionth time, Sizzix adhesive sheets. I like to get mine on sale, Hobby Lobby. I did use Sizzix adhesive sheet because this thin of a piece, I don't want to mess around with wet glue. But I could have also done it that way too to piece it back, come to think about it. I didn't even do it that way. I did it where I put the glitter as the frosting on the base, like so. See? And then I still backed it with 110-pound cardstock. Cut another piece of this in 110-pound cardstock on the back because this paper is so thin, the almond cream. I did all of them in almond cream. And on some of them, what I also did, just to offer variation, the curly Q, I took my Jelly Roll pen, size 10, and just went around the curly Q. Some of them, I used the dye to put on the frosting on the legs and the arms, while others, I just drew it in with white gel pen. Here, I did pink frosting, so I did pink legs. I could still go here, but it would be in white, so I just left it. If you are interested in what Peachy Keen stamps I use, let me show you. I actually use, some of the faces came from the Peachy Keen Gingerbread Doll die and face stamp set. I used these two, like here is there. And then I also took some faces from here. This one, Peachy Keen in the Garden, like that. And I did the 3/4 of an inch, this size, for the face to fit in here, okay? Super duper duper cute. And we'll come back to the Peachy Keen because I did get my Peachy Keen order in. So what I did was I cut it, a bunch of them, as you can tell. And I have 1 or 2 little projects in here I'll show you shortly. And on this glass mat, which if you want to get 20% off, use the code Suzanne20 at checkout to get 20% off this wonderful glass mat. I use a glass mat to ink it. I would say if you don't have a glass mat, take out one of your Ranger craft mat sheets, not a silicone one, the smooth one like what you would use for mixed media. Not the silicone like what I normally do ink blending on. You want something smooth, not something that grips everything, because this little curly Q here, even on this piece, when you're inking, what you don't want to do is come on with force inking and then this starts breaking up and curling up. All of mine stayed flat because this surface right here is glass and it's slick. The ink just glided on and I was able to blend with no problems. Whether I went the darker route, I like my golden gingerbread. And then here with these, I decided to go the traditional way that the die is made. I use Copic C markers. The pink, I was going with the, I believe is this shade of pink for the cheek. I use my Nouveau Bubblegum Blush drop here. That's this one. Crystal drops, I mean. I just put some here and then put it aside to dry. Here it is without the bubblegum blush. You can see I did a whole, just a whole bunch of them. This one, because it was darker, when I had put the blush here, it just didn't look right. So I decided to go red. Believe that's Carnation, Nouveau. And then for the eyes, I did 4 of them with the tonic glossy black foil cardstock. And then one of them I did it with their matte cardstock. for the eyes. And then these I did peachy keen. Here is one example. This is on a My Creative Time die, but I got this one last year or the year before. This is her Valentine one. I think it's called Love. I'll put the name here, and also I'll link everything below. This is new, not so new, because you can use this one year round. It does cut a cute envelope that measures 3.5 by 2.5 if I was to fold this down, keeping it open. So I'm keeping it at 4.25. And you have a little note card in here. And there's my little gingerbread all popped up in pink. Cute, 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 cute. This is a cutout from another Valentine thing that I'm working on, Lawn Fawn. I had hauled that Lawn Fawn slimline die on clearance at scrapbook.com. So this is a pop out from that die. It's a long die with, you know, hearts, and I just popped it on here. And then there's my little gingerbread in pink. Yes, she's in glitter frosting, because of course glitter frosting exists. This one has more vintage photo on it, so you can see here. I was just playing around with how to do it different ways. Those little dots, that's this little cute little die. Don't lose it. I also did an envelope, but where did I put the envelope for this thing? The envelope is this I'm talking. I did cut it, but I have no idea where I put it. It makes the cutest little envelope that you can put in the hand, and those hearts can be the closure for the envelope. Just keep that in mind. I'll show you another time. But this set, super duper cute. Best combo for, well, I'm happy with it. You do what you want to do, but I'm happy with almond cream basil cardstock, tea dye, vintage photo. Winning combo here. And you can go as light as you want or as dark as you want, or even darker. This is still not as brown as you would like. Start off with a more brown cardstock, and that would give you even a richer chocolate, okay? Super cute. I love this, and I love that I'm able to use the peachy keen on it, and I like it like this, you know? But now that I'm seeing I could also piece this back, yeah, I could piece it back in. That's it, pieced back in, if you're interested. I tell you, this die cuts well. You know how hard it is for most dies to cut this without crushing it? Look at that. Yeah. Tell you, My Creative Time, she has great prices, and she gives sales all the time. Even on her new release, she had extra 15% off. Alrighty, so those are my gingers that I am going to put on a bunch of. Continuing my Christmas crafting, because it seems like I'm not the only one doing it. And I even saw a video earlier. Nicole's 4 has, I believe, is Christmas year-round. It's not an official group. It's not a hashtag. But she said she's going to be popping on Christmas videos every month. I don't know how many. And just so she can get caught up on Christmas. I think everybody thought Christmas came just way too fast last year. And we have all this product and we still want to play. Do what makes you happy, and also get prepared for Christmas coming. Why not? Alrighty. Moving on. Let's see. I did get, speaking of peachy keen, I did get my peachy keen order. This is my peachy keen order. So these two were one order. Then after my order, I went back and ordered this. Alrighty, because they were spread out like a week and a half apart or something like that. Alright, so let's talk about them. This one, Peachy Keen, Happy Winter Faces, 2-inch stamp set. I'll put a link for their new release. This is all in the new release section, alright? Except for this one. 2-inch. It is 2.5, but the gist of the face itself, eyebrow to the bottom here, will be 2 inches. Super cute. Look at all those faces. And there are like 6 sets maybe, ranging from 2-inch, 2.5, up to 3-inch. This is 2.5 inch. This one, Addie, Darlene, and Deb. Super cute. They are big though. They are big. Okay, so you're thinking with this set, you're going to be like more like an ornament. Even this one too would be more ornament. Yeah, but they're still cute. These are too big for the ones that I did with the Trinity Stamps Happy Snowman. This, see, even on their biggest one, this is just a bit too big for it. It would still need to be bigger. So even on a slimline card, I think, yeah, see how it's taking up a lot of the card? This needs a wider area. Yeah. But cute. Cute. I'm going to figure things, tags, ornaments, and I'm going to find some sort of snowman to put this on. Trust me. Even if I have to go into my silhouette and cut a snowman big, I'm going to do it. And then the newer release after that new release, they're all in the new release section. This one is not as new, but Christmas character. I loved this face and that. And then these are like, she has examples where she shows that this is for Mr. and Mrs. Claus. And these female faces you can use on your Julie Nutting doll stamps. These faces can work on that too if you have those paper dolls. Cute. But this is what got me that face. Love, 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 love. And lastly, the one that I'm most excited about. Peppermint Polly, Sprinkled Sandy, Valentine Val, Gingerbread doll stamp set. Just adorable. Adorable. These are bigger. So this is from the Peachy Keen die set here. Let me get it out for you so you can see a reference. See, this is the set. Their other set, the gingerbread set, 2.5 inch tall. This one now you're looking at 3 3/4 inch tall. Yep, same 3 3/4 inch tall. The width, you're looking at 2 3/4. Roughly same 2 3/4 inch wide. All right. So there is a big difference here. Just keep that in mind. Like if you put this on an A2 card, that's 5.5. So this is taking up like an entire A2 card right there. So the scale of it, this one gives you more room to play on an A2 card. This one would be more of an A2 card or just only on a tag or scrapbook layout, mini album, but still adorable. And she did have these, I think these two, I'm not sure about this one, digital, because I did get the digital and then she released the stamp. I'm good because with the digital, you can print it out, you know, big, you can scale it down smaller too. Yeah. Print like 20 of these on a page or something to get them down to this size or something. Super cute. Oh, I just haven't stamped it yet to play with it, but I will, just time. So I was totally inspired by Anna Wight and Marilyn G and Jill Norwood. These ladies love their vintage Snowman, vintage gingerbread. I couldn't even find any of the vintage gingerbread ladies. Let me tell you, I looked, but I mean, of course I could do it at $200. No, thank you. But I was looking for the deal, but I did get a deal on some vintage snowmen. So I believe it was Marilyn G who hauled this one. And she did a video where she colored this and I was like, oh, I love this. So I went on the lookout, found it on eBay. Stamp set arrives like this. It's called Let It Snow, and I don't think this is a whole set. I think I'm missing something, but I was really going for that anyway, right? Got my stamp set. Excited. Open up the box. This had to be, and from the listing, I believe I didn't see the back. This was the dirtiest stamp I have, and this is me cleaning it, I have ever seen in my life. And, you know, I know some stampers, they don't care. They're like, pitch black the whole thing, you know, oh well, it's seasoned. No, guys, I was so upset when I saw the back. Here, I'm like, I don't even know what this is. I'm like, did it run down? But it looks okay. So if you know what this stuff is, if it's just ink, I'm hoping it's ink. I don't think it's moldy, but this was gunky. Let me tell you, I had to take out my Altenew cleaner. I had to take out my grandma's rubber stamp cleaner. Yeah, but that one is hard to find. I got that at AC Moore years ago. Then, still wouldn't clean off. Then I had to take out my StazOn stamp cleaner. StazOn cleaner cleans. This is as clean as I could get it. It was so gunky. So I learned my lesson. I will always look for a listing where I can see the front and see the back. Some people, this doesn't bother them. This drives me bonkers. I like this. That's fine. But this thing, oh no. And this is as clean as I could get it. Let me tell you. But funny. I took a piece of cardstock. Let me show you my card that I made. Vintage snowman. Look at this. I've been watching a lot of your videos, Anna Wight. So I like how you layer up and then you put the vintage stamp. And what she does, instead of having to take the Copic marker and color this whole background, because I was worried about doing that, she uses like a decorative die or a circle or a scallop and then layers it up with cardstock. And I'm like, I like that style. Plus, I didn't have to color this in. I didn't really want to color it in anyway. I'm not a big background Copic colorist, no. But funny, I stamped it on here straight, and I was panicking about it because regular photopolymer stamps that I use in the MISTI, if I took an acrylic block and put a stamp on it and stamp it, rarely does it come out straight. Even with these, I'm like, sometimes I'll see, you know, one edge a little bit heavier than the other, so I know I don't stamp straight. For some reason with this block, first time out the gate, stamp this one down, then had the image. I cut it big enough in case I made a mistake. I was ready to flip it over, and this beside it, and it actually lined up. I was shocked out my mind. I don't know. These are Stampin' Up stamps, so maybe the block has a good, yeah, I just inked it up good. And this was a one and done. I don't have a jig. A jig is like a kind of like a T ruler, and you would line it up and then you would stamp here and then stamp again if you don't stamp it straight. I actually got pretty good color. Both of them, one run, just ink it up good, stamp on. Maybe you guys will tell me it's because this is actually conditioned. Wouldn't that be funny? Yeah, yeah. So I stamped it on and colored up my snowman. Oh, I was happy coloring this snowman until I decided it was supposed to be a different colorway. It was supposed to be more blue and some purple. As a matter of fact, it was supposed to be blue and then not purple. But what happened is I have a marker. I think I'm going to dump the marker because I don't know how to unsaturate it. It's the second time I've colored with it. Right there. If you can see it, that's where it did the dump. Had this thing going. Snowman colored, face color. Now I'm doing the scarf. Put on the blue marker and it bled all the way out here. I cleared it as good as I could. And when I lifted the ink, it even dripped here. And I pretty much colorless blender. So if I didn't tell you about it, would you have seen it? You can see it now, but it looks like shading. As a matter of fact, the ink was giving me so much trouble that I think the scarf almost looks like texture. That was a happy accident. Trust me. I had to finish it up, and I kept on coming on back with that marker and didn't want it to dump again. It didn't, because I was draining it out on a Bounty paper napkin so it could absorb some of the ink. So it wouldn't do, it just did a big bleed. But I think I saved it. Here I put some glossy accents. Here I put some stickles, purple stickles. And I think it turned out cute. So now, Anna, she would normally put a button and some twine and tie it up. Yes, I've watched enough of your videos now to understand your style. I don't have buttons. I don't have small buttons. So I thought, well, I'm going to take the snowflake and turn it into a button. So I took a piece of ribbon. Listen, when you don't have something, then you make it work, right? So I took a thin ribbon. This is from Hobby Lobby. Found a snowflake that had an opening and then thread the ribbon through it. And then it didn't look quite right. So that's my sentiment right there. This is my Lily of the Valley A5 polymer stamp set. Christmas sentiment tags. This is something that if you're interested in getting this, get it sooner than later. Before she, you know, this ships all the way from England too. It's a company that's on Etsy, and I will put the link below. Jill talks about them all the time. I know I think because of her, they decided to run this again because it was digital for years. Now it's back in photopolymer. You can get the digital copy, but if you want these photopolymer stamps, which, funny enough, this is another one. You don't have to prep it. It just goes straight on and stamps well. There you go. Twinkle and sparkle. First time using it. Clean. This may not be around forever. The company is not really back. before you have to get this third hand on eBay for, you know, $50 to $100. Get your set. Etsy, all right? So I put the Twinkle and Sparkle. Then that's the Pinkfresh Studio Matte Gold Pearls. Cute. And then here I just took one of my Rick Rack dies from my stash and created something across the top. This paper, just a paper from my stash, but I think it turned out cute. This is on a huge 5x7 card, okay? Because this guy, he's kind of big. He measures, let's say 4 inches from the top down here to the ground, 4 inches, and 1 3/4 wide. And I'm going all the way out here to where the scarf is, and then the little tree that comes in the stamp set. But I think it's super cute. Then I went back, and I also found this. I have not played with this one yet. This one, see, now that's clean. But rubber stamps, you could just go straight on. You don't have to prep them anyway, so it doesn't matter. They shouldn't really have to be conditioned, right, with ink. But this is so cute. Let me... Stitched Snowman. Let me see if that's really... Yes, Stitched Snowman. I like that they send me the box too. Super cute. This one I like. 3 inches tall by 2.5 inch wide. Cute. Christmas is sharing, loving, and caring. And this now, this is a recent haul on clearance at scrapbook.com. Stampendous. And this one is called Cling Warm Snowman. Cute. So it does come wood block and also like this. So if you don't get, let's say, these, here is a version that kind of mimics it. I saw it. This one came in at $4. Thought it was super cute. So, you know, another option, right? I like my snowmen like this. I think this one, this is the only one that is a little different, but I like the tall ones. But this one, I do love the face on this one. Super duper 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 cute. So I would love to get a Diana Markham, but oh well. Alrighty, crafters. Alright, I think that's everything because my video is getting long. I will go into a part 2. Hope you enjoyed the cuteness, gingerbread love. Compliments of my creative time. Check out this set. Super duper cute. So if you don't have the face stamps, don't worry about it. You can still make something fabulous just like that. Alrighty, crafters, until the next video, stay crafty, my friends. Bye.